All right, guys, how are we doing today? Wanted to come on, take a look at Bitcoin, kind of see where we're at. There's obviously a lot of bullishness going on right now with the price moving up. So this was actually going to be a live stream. I had a very important phone call earlier this afternoon, so I wasn't able to do it. So instead, I'm pretty much just going to record this on the fly real quick. One shot, one take, not really any edits. Go ahead and upload it to you guys so that you guys can get the analysis that you need and a little bit of clarity in the market. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. I'm going to take a look at the liquidation levels first real quick, and then we'll go ahead and move on to some of the other things. So for right now, it's looking like we definitely got a lot of shorts stacked up above us, mostly because we're starting to get to the top of our range here. So obviously shorting resistance, these guys aren't wrong until they're wrong. So there's been a lot of really good bullish volume. We're going to take a look at that in just a minute here, but any significant move to the top side with a large amount of volume, and I would definitely expect about 45K up here. So, to start sweeping the rest of these orders to the top side. So that's looking really good for us. Let's take a look at the ones that are over on Binance. Again, highblockcapital.com. You guys can check out the link in the description below. Bear's got a push down to 40, basically 43. They got to break 43 to sweep the topmost liquidity for the long side. Below that, it looks like we've got a little break here at about 42.5-ish. Okay, so that's good. So 42.5 would basically be like a low target here. That's probably where I would put my stop. Anything below that, and we're definitely going to be sweeping this second part of liquidity here and pulling like an 80% retracement from the center of our move, this last leg up, and sweeping all the way down to potentially 41.2. But that's a pretty hopeful target for the downside from here, at least intraday for like today. We'll see how that goes, but all in all, everything is looking really good here. The cumulative liquidation delta is on the positive side. That means that we've been sweeping shorts for the most part, so that's good to see. After basically all of the long liquidity on the derivatives exchanges ended up getting swept out of the market. Let's go ahead. We'll take a look at our chart here. This is the daily Bitcoin chart. Let's bring up some of our indicators here. So this is where fake outs like to happen in terms of everybody that said this was a head and shoulders and it wasn't, and we found support. And now there's a lot of people on the internet saying, okay, maybe this is a head and shoulders. That's why this bounce here is going to be so important. We have to be breaking these highs and invalidating that pattern here. So over time, over the next probably couple weeks or so, certainly throughout the rest of the first quarter, I would like to see Bitcoin start rebounding here and start retesting some of these highs up around 50K. Hopefully before, the end of February would be a pretty good target for me in terms of time. But obviously that's yet to be decided here. But overall, we can see that the bearish volume over time here throughout this downtrend has been tapering off, which is good. I don't like to use the word tapering after what's been going on in the actual economy for the last 2 years, but I'm using it in a different way here, which is actually good. So seeing some bullish volume coming into the market here recently, that's a really good thing, is that the volume's been switching over here. Lower and lower bearish volume means increasing bullish volume. So we do have that going for us. And pretty decent candles here, like bottom forming candles. Okay, got a big doji here on the daily chart. Very, very typical reversal candle. But obviously none of this is going to be confirmed until we start breaking above some of these major levels of resistance, particularly this one on our daily level. Our main level here is right at 45,580. So that's going to be a very important level for us to be reclaiming here. In terms of the KMAC indicator here, if I zoom in a little bit and exaggerate these, we can see that basically this bullish divergence that we've been having is starting to play out here. Anything above this low, even if we take another dive down here and just sweep these lows back here, which at this point, it's still a possibility, but we got to see how much demand there is. Like in these zones, we've really only retested this once since back here. So, this major daily, weekly level, between 39.5 and 42K-ish is highly important for us at this point. I certainly wouldn't want to see any closes below here. The entire structure would be broken at that point. In my opinion, that would be the confirmation of an actual bear market, and we're not coming back anytime soon this year to see any 65, 70K levels. So that being the case with this divergence, this is good. It's a good start for a bounce. I say a start because first we need to break down these levels and start closing above them for more upside. And then start seeing reclaims of these major levels up near 48, up near 50, and stuff like that. So we've got a long way to go. But for right now, it's looking relatively good on the higher timeframes here. Let's come down to a 4-hour, take a look at that real quick. And basically our major resistances on these like intra-week timeframes here on the 4-hour chart, we're starting to get up to this top range here. So I was getting a lot of questions about that's such a weird place to put that resistance level. How come you chose to put it there and you didn't align it with this wick? Well, because that's not originally where this resistance level is from. It's actually from way back here between September and October 2021. And this is actually the same level here. Okay. That's how I draw my levels. I don't like to have bars all across my screen. But just for reference, that's where this box came from. It's not a target. It's not calculated from a fib. It's literally just a very well-known historical support and resistance level from, all the way back even into August. So it's a pretty significant level. And this is going to be the main level that I'm going to be watching for us to be reclaiming here. Again, more bullish signs here showing that, we were going to be flipping over, decreasing bearish volume. We never really got it back. We were getting more bullish volume. And it's been increasing this entire time. So that's a really good thing for the price action. Now, I would have liked to see a little bit of a stronger trend here on the MACD. See how the lines are very close together? That means that the trend isn't especially strong. And on this 4-hour chart, it is starting to flip over just a little bit, but it's in bullish territory. So that's not to say that we couldn't just see, a wick down or something to these levels. Somewhere in here to be retesting these previous highs at about 43K. So honestly, in my opinion, that would probably be the most bullish scenario on this intra-week time frame, would be seeing some kind of retracement down into the 43 territory, and then having the hard bounce with the really big bullish volume to be bringing us back up into these previous ranges above us up near 48K. That's going to be the end goal. So the beginnings of that is happening now. I think, having a solid reclaim of basically the top of this breaker here would be a really good first start. But I think that in between 45 and where we're at now, like 45 and the mid 43,000s, it's probably going to be a pretty choppy area, because the market is basically, as you saw from the liquidation chart, the market is starting to try and make up its mind about a clear direction here. While that's starting to happen, the derivatives liquidity tends to get swept a lot in both directions. You see a lot of swing failures, volatility, quick moves to the top and bottom side. So that's probably what I would be expecting for the rest of the week. But in terms of the rest of the month, I would certainly like to start seeing the levels start reclaiming above here, start retesting 45, and then making moves into the higher, 48,000s. Coming down to a 1-hour chart, there's not really too much happening here. This is why I haven't really been making any content or doing, like too many videos and stuff, is just because overall there really hasn't been too much happening in these zones. Anyway, that being the case, basically what we're doing right now is we're retesting these older levels of support here. I don't think really that this is going to hold. I think we're probably going to, like I said, come down and probably see something like this, where we get another one of those like head and shoulders fake outs. And then we start moving more to the top side here. From where we're at now, the midline and this previous level of support here is the 236. That would be a pretty shallow retracement, but we also really haven't moved up that far either. It's only been like 3 or 4 grand. So, retesting 42.5 or 43, that's perfectly reasonable for this kind of move. We have to be holding our previous daily high for sure, but I do think that that's probably the dip that we get is to sweep. So this is more, I'm confluence hunting right now. Okay. I'm hunting for confluence. This is one of the ways that I do it is I like to use the order blocks. Okay. These are called order blocks. That's what these are referred to as. And we've got our session, which is the day. We've got our daily session VWAP here. That's what that line is. Okay. Basically right on top of our previous daily high in here. About 43. That's what I've been saying this whole stream is I would like to see a retest of 43 to be adding to my longs, or if I scalped short, looking there to maybe take some profits. Below that, we start getting a little deviated, and we would be dipping down to our first standard deviation of the VWAP, as well as our point of control for the day's session, which is basically here at 42.7. Okay. I think that if we lose that, that's probably when we're going to sweep all three of these at the same time down here, hit our third standard deviation for the day, sweep the monthly low again, sweep the Monday high, as well as the point of control, and just kind of take all those out. It looks like there's also a naked point of control down here from yesterday's session as well. Multiple days now. This has been a very strong level of where the volume is. Okay, that's what these points of control are. That's where the highest volume for the day was traded at those price levels. It's basically a straight line for like a week. This is our main support now. Like if I won't be worried about us going for a possible another leg down until this level is broken. Like if we sweep this naked point of control from yesterday and we start closing below here, that's probably not going to be good. Or it would be a very nice bear trap. Placed by the bulls, one or the other. But I wouldn't really be too concerned. These are all ads for me. This level is an ad. This level is an ad. I want to be adding to my longs in these levels because now my average entry is from under 40K. So I'm looking to add here, potentially hedge my long and scalp, maybe take some shorts into these levels for the day. Okay. There's good confluence with these levels if I turn these back on. Okay. That's the previous daily high right there. Okay. So that would be my first point to be looking for any ads. If that level failed, I would probably also scalp short lower into my other bids for my main position as well. There's a lot of ways that you can play it. I try to present all of them to you and just present all of the different ways that you can trade this because everyone trades differently. And I don't know what you're going to do or what the other people watching are going to do. I tell you what I would do and then tell you other things that you can do. I hope that helps. I mean, let me know in the comments down below when you guys rewatch this, if that kind of thing is helpful. That helps me give you guys the content that you want to see. So midway through the week, I'm going to do a 90-second analysis tomorrow and probably focus on charts tomorrow and just focus on doing videos and stuff today since I got put so behind because of yesterday's technical problems with my camera. I think that's pretty much it. Make sure that you smash that like and subscribe button on the YouTube channel. And I will get back to you guys tomorrow and Friday for more video content and stuff like that. Cheers. Have a good day.